So let's take a look at Ultra Pro's Pro Tower Deck Box. Now, this is actually a little bit different than some of the tower deck boxes I've been reviewing recently in a number of ways. It's an interesting product because this thing is tough. It is built like a tank, and that is the first thing you'll actually notice really the moment you just touch it. It's really big. It's a little bit larger than sort of competing tower deck boxes. For the sake of example here, I'm actually going to bring out the Ultimate Guard tower deck box that I recently reviewed. So it's definitely a lot larger than them, a lot, just bigger in general. So that can be a pro and a con. I'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, this thing is a nice dark black color. Now, some people may or may not like that. I don't actually think that this comes in any other colors though. I think it only comes in black, but it's got the Ultra Pro branding here, and you can also see it on the front. It's a little bit tough to see. I'm not sure that was necessarily like a design choice by them, but it is a little bit weird. And the material is a little bit, it's weird to say. It's hard to describe exactly how it feels. It feels really rough and textured, and that's a good thing. It makes it extra grippy. And this thing, as I kind of mentioned earlier, is tough. Like, this is hard. This is not just, some thin, like, rubbery material or just some thin cardboard underneath. When you tap this thing, you will actually feel that it is really tough. And it attaches or opens with a little snap, so it's actually not magnetic. Maybe the magnets wouldn't have been tough enough for something like this. But this thing really is like tough. You actually have to struggle a little bit to open it, so I wouldn't say that's like a bad thing or anything. I think that actually speaks more to the build quality. But it's definitely a tough product, and it's not going to open, a little bit of shaking. No, this thing is staying closed. So when you open it up, is where things get a little bit interesting. So unlike most of the tower deck boxes, this thing doesn't actually really have a compartment for accessories, sort of. So it's got this compartment here, and I believe that in Magic the Gathering commander cards or something like that, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player, forgive me, are kind of these large size cards that are used, and I'm not sure how they're used or what they're for, but I know they're larger size than normal. And this compartment here is actually where those are supposed to go in this deck box. So this was clearly designed with Magic the Gathering players in mind, but if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, you can easily still use it. And if you're a Magic player, all the better. Otherwise though, it's got these two compartments here. They're both really big, but this one slides out and the top one doesn't. Kind of an interesting design choice, but I see why they had to do it since there's nothing in between them here. This one would just be like kind of sliding out if you didn't have, if it wasn't like adhered to, you know what I mean? So kind of strange, but this slides out. Now this compartment, you could put a deck in here, I believe, but I'm not actually sure if it would fit. So I think that this may or may not have been intended to be the compartment for accessories. Now, as Yu-Gi-Oh cards go, they seem to actually fit. But something to keep in mind is I don't actually think that Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or other standard size cards would fit in here because they're a little bit taller. But they might if you place them face down, but that gets complicated because then it's hard to actually take them out. So this is a weird design choice in my opinion. I'm not sure I completely agree with it. Anyways though, we've got these ribbons here, and these are great because you can use these to like cover the cards up when they're inside, or you can like put them underneath the cards so that like you can easily pop the cards up. Like, you would put, say, the deck, like, so you see this ribbon here. You gotta make a little example of this. So you see the ribbon here. If you have your deck here like this, then when you pull it out, you can easily like use the ribbon to just elevate it, and that makes that super easy. Focus here. So yeah, that's a really cool little design, but I think this is mostly meant for accessories, for dice, for coins, tokens, the works. So really cool, and I think it's actually really smart of them to kind of come up with this idea. So that works really well. And of course, you'll always want to put it in with this faced outwards, because if you were to not do that, as you can see, it would be quite hard to pull this out otherwise. So make sure you don't make that mistake if you happen to get this. So this actually is where I think the deck would go. As Yu-Gi-Oh goes, this is easily going to hold a main side and extra deck, and you can use this for the same purpose of being able to get the deck out really easily. So overall, it holds everything really well. I think the biggest thing I have to say about this is just how tough and sturdy it is. That's the selling point of this. But I also feel like it's a bit harsh. It's a bit heavy. It's a bit not quite as presentable as some other tower deck boxes, but it's tough. So this is kind of a trading form per function type of thing. It doesn't necessarily look great, but it does its job really well. If you're interested in this product, I'll have a link to it in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Shout outs to Ultra Pro for still a really greatly built product, maybe just not the best looking one. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Product reviews and other Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, and suggest things that I should check out next time. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.